Ryan Schultz from E39Source. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here to share some exciting news. I have mastered the art of cloning. No, not quite. Probably still wouldn't be working at 5 on a Friday if I had. Anyways, this is my 2000 E39 M5 in I almost said titanium, in Silverstone metallic, the launch color for the 2000 car. And this one over here is a 2001, also in Silverstone metallic. Now this is actually pretty rare color for the E39 M5. There's only a couple of hundred on the Silverstone interior, which mine is here. That's the Sport Black and Gray. There are 135 of these produced for North America, and we have 2 of them here, which is pretty fun. So that's obviously a Silverstone interior as well. And this is a customer car. So if you haven't figured it out, we've kind of departed the used parts business in favor of the performance tuning and service business. And I think that's much better suited for my skill set and what I like to do. I've been around the E39 M5 now for nearly 11 years. I've learned a heck of a lot about these cars. We've done a ton of PPI, or pre-purchase inspections, for customers here in our North County, San Diego-based service shop. And, I've really come to know what to look for, what to listen for, what to smell for. So the owner of this car now reached out to me a little over a month ago, said he had found the car for sale online in Orange County, and he wanted somebody he could trust to take a look at it. So we were able to head up to Orange County here from San Diego. It's maybe a 45-minute drive, and do the PPI to the best of our ability in a parking lot. Of course, if I were able to have the car here, we would have put it up in the air on lifts and spent some time under the car with flashlights, inspecting the driveline and the suspension, etc. Unfortunately, we couldn't really do that in Orange County. I did bring a mirror, I brought a light, I brought my camera, we packed up the scanners and the laptops and put everything in the bag, and we did drive the car, spent some time with it, and it was really, really easy to tell that this has been a well cared for and well-loved car for its entire life, which we're really, really happy to see, because it presented so well in photos, and to see that match in person was just excellent. So this is a 1-owner car, or it was, now it's a 2-owner car, but this is a 2-owner car 21 years after manufacturing, which is really, really rare to find. So obviously the original owner invested in the car, he kept documentation, he took phenomenal care of the car. So I shared my findings with the customer. We didn't really see anything that was a red flag to push him away from this particular car. So he pulled the trigger and proceeded with the purchase, and immediately sent it down here to us in San Diego for to conclude the PPI. So we got the car up on the lift, and the reason it's still here, he was going to pick this up before the end of the year last year, but the reason it's still here was the flex disc. Okay, so the flex disc is this rubber disc. It's also known as a Jubo, or a Guibo if you say it phonetically. That we're going to show you this demo transmission here. This is out of a E60 545i. It's going to be going in a 550, and it'll be another swap here in a couple weeks. Let me know if you guys are into that. But it sits right here at the end of the transmission output flange, and it would be before the drive shaft, and it couples the 2 units together and absorbs some of those driveline vibrations. It's a part that should be replaced probably about every 10 years or 100,000 miles maximum. This thing was original, 21 years later, 130,000 miles. And I don't have any video, but let me show you a few pictures of what that looked like once we got it out. As you can see, it probably wouldn't have been conducive to the customer taking the car back to the greater Phoenix, Arizona area. So you guys probably know how these jobs go, right? You decide that you're going to do the flex disc. Well, that means taking the drive shaft out, and that means taking the exhaust off. So when the exhaust is off, now we need new gaskets and we need hardware, and we've got the drive shaft out. So let's go ahead and refresh the drive shaft. So we did that. I've got a couple of drive shafts over here, not out of this car, but it's the same setup. This is this one closer to me, I believe, is out of an E60 M5. No, that's an E39 Chapter. This one's going to be the E60 M5 right here. So the flex disc would have attached up here, so we went ahead and replaced that. We did the center support bearing. That's a big, big, big cause of clicks and pops and weird noises in the drive line, and should absolutely be replaced at the first sign of any wear. And then we went ahead and did the constant velocity joint at the back end of the drive shaft as well. With the exhaust off, of course, we did the hardware, we did the bushings, we did the center mount, we did everything that should be done when it's apart. And that led to us looking at the diff, kind of scratching our chins on the lift, looking at that, saying, you know what, this thing's wet. We are here. The The majority of the labor is done. So we pulled the diff in the car. We did the input flange seal. We did the output flange seals. Of course, we did the differential mount. We did the front unicorn egg front bushing in that. We rebuilt, all of that. And it was just fantastic to get all that done at once. Really tightened up the car. Now it's dry. It's spotless under there. And the customer's going to be beyond happy with it. And he's actually coming out here tomorrow, taking a flight from Phoenix to San Diego. And we're very excited to put the keys in his hands and send him off in his E39 M5. So now that we're halfway done with the video, this is just kind of letting you know some of the services that we are providing here at E39Source in terms of service and PPIs and matching sellers and buyers, and it's just really exciting, and I love being a part of this. So for the rest of this video, we're just going to enjoy this beautiful condition 2001 Silverstone M5. It's gorgeous inside, gorgeous outside, and only better after we've been able to work the car over here and restore it to pretty close to how this car would have looked driven and functioned when new. So we'll take a peek firstly at the window sticker. I love to get that with these cars. We were able to dig it out of the owner's manual book inside, which was really cool. So the 2001 M5 actually has the same MSRP as the 2000. I just compared it to my sticker inside. This one's been a California car for life. Came into, is that Oxnard or somewhere up there north of Los Angeles, maybe Santa Barbara County. My car has PDC. This one does not, but it's got the sunshades, and mine does not. So a couple $100 there, different from a price standpoint, but we do retain the window sticker, which is awesome. And we're going to put all the documentation we have. This is just what we've done to the car. We have a little bit more paperwork as well. All this is going to go in a binder and will be presented to the customer tomorrow when he picks up the car. For his privacy, I've covered up the Dare Customer section of our invoice here, but this is the E39Source invoice. We alternate colors here for different jobs. The labor descriptions are in bold, and then we've got parts descriptions below that. So as you can see, we've had actually a total of 28 different jobs on this car, ranging from $0 up to, a lot more than $0, just based on what kind of labor is required there. But I'm going to be all over the place talking about cosmetics and mechanicals and kind of everything going on with this car. So what the heck, let's just start at the front. And we'll start with the outside. But we got new badging all the way around the car. We got the Facelift wheel center caps inside there. That was a 2002 thing, little known fact. They did not come on the 2001 cars. So we put 4 of those on. We did the hood roundel. We did the trunk roundel. The M and the 5 badge back there were fresh enough, so we left those. The headlights are a major upgrade on these cars. These are the Hella brand European style facelift lights. They're a bolt-in installation for the 2001 Plus cars, and this gives you that nice clear Euro corner. Heck, you guys are watching this video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They're the same lights I have on my car. I sell these to customers in-house. I can drop ship them as well. If you guys are interested, shoot me an email, ryan@e39source.com. I've got the best price of anyone around, and nothing changes the look of the car more than these things do, trust me. And let me flip the halos on here. We went with the Ziza brand LED halos. They're 6,000 Kelvin or 5,500 Kelvin, maybe pure white 10 watt bulbs. There's no ballasts. They're a plug and play thing for the 2001 Plus cars, and they just look fantastic. We went ahead and leveled those lights. Of course, the old ones were the original US lights with the orange corner. They had pitted lenses, and they had broken adjusters. So that's a major upgrade there to the front. Aside from detailing this car quite recently, actually a few hours ago, getting ready for it to be picked up tomorrow, the outside of this car did not need much attention. There's no body damage. There's no missing trim. Both mirrors fold. There's no mirror bubbles. There's no corrosion on any of the glass. All of the lights worked. This was a really nice car. So let's go inside now. We'll talk about some of the cosmetics that we've completed in here. And not a ton. This car was very clean inside. One of the things I look for immediately on my PPI pre-purchase inspections are just the condition of, let's say, this area right here, and the entry guard, and this piece of trim, and the seat trim. Is this stuff all hacked up and falling off? Is it missing? Is it destroyed? Or is it here and original and clean? And is it obvious that it's been wiped down on a yearly basis at least? And I was very happy to see that this car had been taken care of like that. And it's obvious that the one owner of this car certainly cared about just making a good impression and taking good care of it. Another thing we look at, condition of the seats, of course, but also function of the seats. We want to make sure that all the motors function, no twist. That's real common on these cars. I'm sure you guys know. All of the motors in this car worked, and just look at the condition of these Silverstone seats. 90,000 fewer miles than my car, and they're gorgeous. Some of the cosmetics in here, though, we did replace the shift knob. We replaced the entire emergency brake lever. I had to remove the center console to get to that. You cannot buy just the leather, so we did the entire knob. Did the center console armrest front handle, as well as the tray, as well as the little storage box. Believe it or not, the cup holders already worked. And then back to mechanicals for a quick minute here. When we had the drive shaft out and the exhaust off, that's a great time to rebuild the shifter carrier bushings, the selector shaft seal, the rod joint, all of those different parts there. We also put the E60 545i short shifter in here, which is a fantastic stock way to just add a little sportier feel to the shifter in this car. And this transmission with only 130,500 miles on it really feels fantastic. Look at that. All the pixels work. Another item here, we have the LED interior kit. This is one of those polarizing things. You guys either love it or you hate it. To me, I think it works on the Silverstone interior. The kit includes everything into the glove box, into the trunk. Everything is a nice, bright, white, modern, crisp light. It's not too bright. Doesn't feel like you're in a used car lot, but it does away with that orange-yellow glow from the 90s that these cars came with. My PPI found an interesting thing with the front passenger door. So the automatic windows on North American cars will not generally work with the doors open. This is something that I've coded here. So if I put that key in position 1, obviously the door is open. If I hit the button, the window goes down automatically. Pretty cool. Now the front passenger side was not going auto up even with the door shut. So my suspicions were confirmed when I pulled off that door panel, a little bit of labor on that, but we pulled the door panel off, looked inside, and sure enough, the sensor, yes, there's a sensor here. I'm about to demo it. They've done away with this in more modern BMWs. Let's shut up that dinger. How about that? But the sensor uses the same type of 3-pin connector that this door tweeter uses. And if they are reversed, if the sensor's plugged into the tweeter and the tweeter's plugged into the sensor, obviously neither item will work. So I confirmed that suspicion by listening for the tweeter. Did not hear anything from the tweeter, so moved on to remove the door panel, to switch the connections, reseal the vapor barrier, replace the door panel clips, and put it back together, and we restored functionality of that auto-up front passenger window. This is a safety feature. They did away with it in later cars. So if I do the auto up and I stick my arm in here, the window will come up and pinch my arm just a little bit and then roll back down about an inch. Now we've got to demo this feature, right? And they both work. Both original, both work. And also, no mirror bubble. The back seat of this M5 required absolutely no attention. And I mean that. Even the side quarter window shades work. How about that? Both of them. They're all original. All the sunshades work beautifully. Door sills back here are nice and clean. Silverstone rear seats, split fold, beautiful, nice matte. Center armrest there. Headliners all tight. No damage, no smell. This is just a peach of a car. Come around to the trunk. We can see the fresh badging there. Looks fantastic. One thing you want to check for during an inspection is under the license plate there should be a VIN sticker there, and that VIN matches and is still present. Back here to the trunk, nice and clean, no M audio. That's the standard DSP. We did a light vacuum back here. We did put a Mark IV in. It had the Mark III navigation, so that's now a Mark IV with the latest version DVD. There's the box for the halos we talked about up front. We did shark tune the car per customer request, so there's that shark and paperwork. This came with the car, the little VHS front plate bracket. This door had been damaged in the past, so we did pop a new door on there for him. Nice and clean back there, though, which is excellent to see. And there was one missing tool, which I had on the shelf over there, so we just popped that in to complete that. And let's take a peek under the hood as well. Did a little bit under here, a little bit of mechanical stuff to the engine, just in the way of fluids and filters and kind of the generics. Of course, we see a fresh, bright white expansion tank, which was accompanied by a coolant flush. We talked about the headlights. I had forgotten the fog lights. These are brand new 2001 plus OEM fog lights and fog light surrounds. The originals were just quite a bit pitted, so that's taken care of. This bumper had been replaced in the past, around 2007. It is a genuine BMW OEM bumper, but they forgot the rubber seal that's under there. Kind of an overlooked detail, so we pulled one off the shelf and put that on there for the customer. One of the bigger mechanical problems, in addition to that flex disc, which I noted in the PPI, of course, would be the mechanical fan and fan clutch here. This was completely seized. So before we drove the car at all, we went ahead and replaced both the fan and the fan clutch. And lastly, under the hood here, aside from giving it a very, very quick wipe down, it was obvious this car had been, this engine bay has been cleaned regularly its entire life. But the firewall trim had cracked and was disintegrating, as most of them are by now. So we ordered a new set of those and put those in. So in the course of a couple of weeks, and of course a lot of that is at this point just waiting for parts with COVID, and we had to deal with the holidays, but we rebuilt and refreshed the driveline. We changed all the fluids. We did preventative maintenance. We fixed the biggest problems with the car. We enhanced the exterior visual styling elements of the car with the headlights. We did a performance tune. We refreshed the interior. I cannot wait for the customer to see this car tomorrow. I think it's really, really come together extremely well, and I think he's going to be really happy with it. And then the last thing we did here per customer request was a muffler delete. Those tips are welded in place. They use a factory hanger. Can easily be undone and cut to add back the factory mufflers, which are going to be going with the customer tomorrow, or if he should choose something like Eisenman, Dynon, Rogue, etc. in the future. It's not an E39 M5 tour without taking a peek. Two things to note here. One, zero, and I mean zero, gas cap rust. I don't know that I've seen one this clean. And two, a gas cap with a tether in place still. All right, guys, that's going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. It's a beautiful M5. I cannot wait to see the customer's face tomorrow as he picks it up and realizes what a nice, clean car he's purchased and good investment he's made. We've really enjoyed working on this car, and it's very rewarding to take a really nice car and just go over the whole thing and you know, notice those little details and take the extra time and a little bit of extra expense to just send it into that next level and make this thing look nearly new again. So thanks for watching this video. Please keep us in mind for service needs here in the Southern California area. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.
Here we go, first start.
Off she goes, headed to Arizona. He's thrilled with the car, and oh boy, he's gonna have fun today. It's a gorgeous drive to hit the open road and head through the desert.